Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes Have Some Podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg, and I have breaking news. The state of Georgia is open.
Is it though? Is it?
And we come,
kind of,
which means Yes Have Some is open. We can officially be open for business again.
So well, we can't touch you. Still can't touch you.
We have to wear masks and can't touch each other. Yeah, welcome everybody to Yes Have Some Podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. As always, I am here with Abigail Gardner.
What's up, dudes?
And Jacob Walsh.
Yep.
And I learned a fun fact about Jake this week that I want to spring on him.
Mm-hmm.
He, I don't know the exact quote, but it was Jake has an aggressive aversion to crunchy tacos, is what I learned this week. And let me give a little.
Jake taco shamed you for eating a crunchy taco.
I did. So last Saturday we decided we were going to go out and get some groceries and stuff. We ended up getting Taco Bell and eating it in like an empty parking lot. And I ended up getting taco stuff all over me because I got a crispy, crunchy, hard taco shell. And Jake said something along the lines of, anybody who eats a hard shell over a soft shell is a fucking moron. It was something like that.
I don't think it was that harsh. I just don't understand. I thought it was like a common thing that soft tacos are just much better.
To be better?
Like, I feel like the person who created the crunchy taco shell, whenever the soft taco shell was created, they were probably like laughed out of business.
No way, dude. See, my theory is that crunchy's better because you can't make it at home, or at least it takes an oven. So like with a soft taco, you just pull it out of the wrapper. I did this today. I just put cheese inside of a soft taco and some salsa, and that was it. But a hard taco, it's like it takes time, it takes crunch, and
I like that other theory. There's no way to get a hard taco at home.
The taste is so much better, and also crunchy tacos just fall apart. You bite them and they crunch apart.
Yeah, but then you pick them up with your fingers, and you got all those good little bites.
That's not what it is to eat a taco. No,
I like it. That's how I eat a taco.
That's a salad.
And if you're Craig, you drop the taco in your lap and then eat off your lap.
So here's the thing. I actually do prefer a soft taco to a crunchy taco.
Hard tacos are one bite away from salad.
Yeah. Hard tacos are salad.
If you bite it the wrong way, it's just salad on your placemat.
Your placemat. That's what I was missing.
Your wrapper? You needed one.
I normally don't drive with a placemat. I prefer soft tacos, but they've got the Doritos flavored tacos at Taco Bell, and that's why I went with those, which they're much better than like a regular taco shell.
Mm-hmm.
So that was...
See, hold on. That shows you how bad crunchy tacos are. They have to make them out of Doritos to get people to eat them.
It's like a whole new, like, guys.
Dude, that elevates it. I think it's better. You can't get a soft.
It elevates it into something edible.
Well, here's the thing.
It covers up all the.
I've had this theory before. I like spicy food, but I'm not sure why. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I sweat. I drink more. But I like it. And it's kind of like I like a crunch, but I don't know what about a crunch makes me enjoy the food more.
I like a crunch too, but I think when it comes to tacos, I'd always I like when they do stuff like a crunch wrap where it's got the crunch in there, but it's still got,
that's the best of both worlds. Yeah.
This is what this quarantine has done to us. We're just having an episode about tacos.
We have nothing else to talk about.
So stupid.
I've eaten so many tacos. Over this quarantine, I've realized I only know how to make tacos, pancakes, and pasta. Huh? And scrambled eggs.
That's all you need.
Three easiest things to make.
And toast. Very good at that.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and get to this fuck budget. Number one, Gorditas Supremes at Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey, I literally have hot sauce right here on my table.
Jake, listen.
Just sauce.
Worst part about Craig's hard taco, they didn't give us any sauce.
Yeah, I was fucked.
It's really upsetting.
I like the mild sauce.
That's why you got to not throw away your extra sauce.
Yep.
So you always have some.
Jake, do you have a sauce drawer in your house, like in the kitchen?
Yeah, I do. I have a cabinet that's full of sauce.
Same.
Yeah.
Do you have glove compartment sauce?
I do not.
Just in case.
This guy.
I don't need Taco Bell.
My friend from high school. I used to drive.
What if you installed like a pump in your car?
No, listen. Hold on. This is important.
Okay.
It's not that important.
My idea is still pretty good.
It's only important. A sauce pump. My buddy Mark in high school, I would pick him up and drive him to school every day. He lived pretty close to the school. but I would pick him up and we'd talk and stuff. And he kept Pop-Tarts in my glove compartment specifically for him to eat when he got in the car.
And you never ate those Pop-Tarts yourself? Because I definitely would.
No, because I only like the brown cinnamon flavor. I don't like the other strawberry and all that.
Okay. Well, that's another problem with your taste.
Wild
berry Pop-Tarts are better. I'm sorry.
Right.
Craig only likes the worst flavor of Pop-Tart. Got it.
God. Brown sugar cinnamon is terrible.
Big
That's what they give you in
surprise.
prison.
It's like, oh, you know what's great? Rice cakes. Those are great.
I like vanilla when it comes to ice cream.
Oh, man. What's a wild Saturday night for me? I don't know. Sleeping in my twin bed alone. I don't have a twin bed.
Yeah, I was going to say, you do have a mattress.
I do have a
on
mattress.
the floor.
Yeah, we're living like this quarantine, man. I tell you what. But
Living like kings.
Like I said, Georgia's going to be opening and everything will be fine. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to Yes, Have Some. We're going to have some fun tonight. I've been excited about getting back into it. Listen, there's a lot going on. Not in the things we normally talk about, but there is some stuff going on in the world of movies and TV and toys and all that. But before we get any further, I wanted to talk about this Ghostbusters art book that is starting to kind of get out there. This was something. Oh, you're holding it. Thank you. This is put out by Printed in Blood and Inside Editions, and it's available for pre-order now on Amazon. And I just wanted to give a shout out to our buddy John Yerkeba, who is a great friend of Yes Have Some podcast. He's helped us. He's done art for us. He's been on the show. He's been in unaired Dr. Pepper commercials, and he's done it all. And he's featured in this along with a bunch of other.
I can't really see.
No, it's fine. Okay. A bunch of other incredible artists. So shout out to John Yerkeba. Make sure that you pre-order the Ghostbusters art book. And really, there's a ton of great art. Dan Schoening's got a really great piece in there, and artists from all over showing Ghostbusters love. I really like that.
Yeah, it's a good read. Like Jason Reitman.
It's a great read.
It's more of a great look through. No, I was saying read because Jason Reitman wrote the open for it, which is really nice. And kind of made me feel good and emotional going into the look through the rest of the pages. And I really enjoyed it. I like art books and I like seeing stuff celebrating Ghostbusters. So it's very cool. It's not the usual stuff you see. So
right. And we're going to talk a little bit of Ghostbusters a little bit later. I've got some thoughts. Jake, I know. So we had some technical difficulties last week. We just couldn't get this thing off the ground, even though we've been podcasting for 5 years. Sometimes our
Zeppelin needed steam.
It did. By the way, I did not know about this Key and Peele sketch that's been going around group therapy. The "Hey, I'm steampunk now." Did you guys know about this?
Yeah,
I know Jake did because you watched Key and Peele.
I knew about that because I've watched Key and Peele. Yeah.
Well, it's very funny, and even though they did it 5 years before us, I think it makes me feel closer to them. So, because
it doesn't make us unoriginal; it makes us validates us because they did it first. So
yeah, they invented steampunk.
But they had the same idea.
I just like the idea of Jordan Peele secretly really be what if he does a steampunk horror movie? Oh boy.
I would be down for it. I feel like it would be serious.
So last week, Jake, we didn't get a chance to show them off. I don't know if you have them near you. If not, that's okay. But you had picked up a couple of those Dino Autopia art pieces.
Oh, I forgot. I don't have them near me. Yeah, I bought some. I completely forgot.
No, will you describe each picture in detail for us?
I bought 3 paintings that were done for the background of the Dino Autopia cartoon that came out. It's one of them is like a cave scene. One of them is of the hatchery, and the other one is just like a tree and some greenery and stuff. And it's just they're original paintings on illustration board, and they have the little code things on them for use in production or whatever. And yeah, I found somebody selling them on eBay, and I was able to grab 3 of them. So
yeah, it was funny. Cool. Jake messaged me and was like, "Take a look at these," and we're trying to figure out if they were real. And we both kind of came to the conclusion who's faking Dino Autopia art?
Yeah.
It's
probably authentic.
Oh, it's definitely authentic. I compared it to. I've got a couple real Ghostbusters cells that have the background painting, and you can see those production numbers on there. So those are very cool. It's another one of those, like, it's just another amazing thing you want to collect. Like if you're a fan of art or prints, and like just getting like a piece from an animated anything that you actually enjoy. Like I love my real Ghostbusters animation cells. I just don't, they're kind of hard to display. Maybe they're not. Maybe I just haven't done it.
It involves framing, which just takes a while.
Framing's expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah. Jake.
We're making excuses.
It's essential.
We could do it. We could put those things in. But when you have a bunch of them, you don't want to, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
All I'm saying
you don't want to go buy a bunch of frames.
I don't want to buy a bunch of frames. Is what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm excited for these goddamn Dinotopia things. And also I revealed to Jake that I had no idea what Dinotopia was. So it's a movie, right?
I thought it was a fruit flavored drink.
Nope.
It's a show.
No, it was a book series that came out like in the early 90s. But it's not like a novel. They did end up making like novels later on, but the main book was just called Dinotopia, and it's like paintings. The guy who came up with it, he's an artist. He's a professional artist, and he painted all these like really, really beautiful pictures of like, you know, dinosaurs and people living with dinosaurs, like coexisting. And then he kind of wrote a story around that. And that's what the book is. And the book did very well. And he ended up making like 4 more of them. But then there was a cartoon that came out, like a cartoon movie. There was like a TV miniseries that came out, which is really awful. And it kind of has nothing to do with the books. But they kept making some things, you know, there's some stuff out there for it. But it's just really cool. The artwork's all really amazing. And I remember when I was a kid, you know, like, when you used to watch TV and you had to watch, like, there would be like infomercials for things.
Oh yeah.
There was like a Dinotopia infomercial, and I remember being like, I don't know what that is, but we have to order it. And you know, like I also remember seeing them at like the Scholastic Book Fair and stuff like that.
I feel like
it's just a really great book series that I grew up with. And then past that, the guy who created it, James Gurney, he's a pretty like prolific artist, and he does a lot of artwork for, you know, magazines and like a scientific thing and like dinosaur discoveries and stuff like that. And now I watch his YouTube channel, and I like buy his like painting tutorial videos, and I like learn stuff from watching him. So it's cool that like that kind of, you know, it started with watching or reading and collecting like dinosaur shit when I was a kid, and it's like he's still putting out content that has kind of grown as my interests have grown.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm looking at images right now, like of little kids with dinosaurs holding them and stuff. It's really cool. I like Dinotopia. I want to get into that.
I'm just thinking about how awesome it was when you were a kid, just staying up late watching infomercials, and like it's just the power of advertisement. Like by the end of it, you're like, I'm buying those encyclopedias. I will call this number right now. I will send my money in
Monster Ballad collection.
Yeah, any of that.
I love watching old like CD collection music commercials.
You know what's funny is like the one for the ballads specifically. Like I knew 5 seconds of every power ballad.
I want you to show me.
Yeah, that one. Or like they're the more than words. I never knew the rest of that.
I'm the one who wants to
there it is.
be with you.
So yeah,
cool. So you guys should get Monster Ballads for me
and Dinotopia.
Dinotopia for Jake.
Cool. So, and then Abby started a new collection.
Yeah, apparently I'm like a Lego builder now.
Tell me about this. You've been pretty anti-Lego.
Yeah, I've been a huge anti-Lego person my whole life. My brother played with them and collected them. We used to have huge Rubbermaid bins full of them. And I don't like following directions necessarily, and didn't at all as a kid. So I used to just kind of like get in there and build my own things. But recently, with this whole like quarantine thing, I've kind of wanted something that I can actually do as a project and feel control over in my life. So I picked up, my first thing I actually picked up was the Harry Potter, the Night Bus, which I haven't put together yet because I've been telling myself that I'm going to do that as like a big finale piece. But I got this for like 20 something at Walmart. It was on a discount, which is pretty nice. I think they're phasing out this Harry Potter line. So
they're canceling Harry Potter.
Harry
Even
Potter.
though there's no Harry Potter movie coming out, they're like, let's just cancel that too.
It's over. So yeah, I'm excited to build this. And I did the first thing that I actually built, which I'm proud to say I put one together, was this Captain America. It's his like motorcycle and some like bad guys. And I really just cherished and relished the process of sitting down at a table and putting out my little tin and putting the Legos in and slowly putting it together piece by piece and following instructions.
Yeah. Guess
till it was
what?
finished. Yeah.
I feel like a piece of shit. This is why. You're over there concentrating on Legos and developing a new hobby. Jake is doing these incredible art pieces and putting them on Instagram, just like hand free drawing amazing lions and shit. And me, I'm just like on Sideshow Collectibles, like, I guess I'm buying Hot Toys now. that's my artistic expression.
But you're staying Craig strong, and that's what matters.
And here's another big reveal that Jake revealed to me this week. And I didn't even want to get into it. Apparently, Craig Strong is a goddamn scam. It's a fraud.
Yeah.
He made me. Craig Strong.
Craig's weak.
Craig is very weak. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Craig Strong is I'd like to say somebody else coined. It's fun on a podcast when somebody else coins a term, but
it's a little nickname I gave myself.
It's like when you're in a store and you don't think you should buy something, you don't think you should barge on something, but you have to look within your soul to stay Craig Strong, right? But what Jake and I really came to the conclusion was it's actually irresponsible, and it's a sickness, and it's an addiction. And I probably need help. I probably need some help. So we might have to flip the Craig Strong thing to like a Ghostbuster, like Craig Strong with the red no ghost through it.
Don't
like,
do it.
Don't be Craig Strong.
The opposite. Okay.
I say go for it.
Okay.
Jake's there's Nike has just do it, and we have do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. So yeah, so what we're saying is we're having fun, and we're able to pass the time with diving into our hobbies and all of that, and yeah, it's been good. So look, I bought new shelves; they're behind me. That's what I did. Nice. Craig Strong. We're not in the living room tonight.
I like being in this room much better. There's more things to look at.
Yeah, I was sick of just seeing like the kitchen, the undecorated kitchen in the background.
I was staring at a wall in there. There's so much more interesting shit to look at in here. I just wanted to show my last thing, which I don't want either of you to make fun of me for.
I hate this so much.
Excuse me. I saw this at Walmart. It's a Frozen 2 light up bowling kit, and I'm really excited to open it tonight.
Abby was like, "Wouldn't it be fun to bowl at the house?"
Dude,
I'm like, "Whatever you think this is gonna be, it's not."
When we walked past these, I did a head turn. I was like, "Whoa, that would be really awesome!" And there was like some little kids like looking at it too that were definitely agreeing with me.
Hey, the joke's on you. Bowling alleys are opening Friday.
Yeah, I know, but that's stupid. This is in opposition of that. You should get your own bowling kit. These light up. I'm gonna do them on my ramp in the front yard tonight, and I can't wait.
We're gonna go ahead and get into the fuck budget. We haven't done a fuck budget in a while. Before we do that, I do want to let everybody know. Yes, have some group therapy on Facebook has been a ton of fun. The community is growing. There's been a lot of really good discussions in there. There was a good discussion on to open or to not open vintage action figures, and people posting their recent purchases, getting stuff on the eBay hang we've been doing on Friday nights. So join Yes Have Some Group Therapy on Facebook. We'll give you a more detailed instruction a little bit later.
You're looking at me when you say that, like I know.
Later on, you're going to tell them how to get there and what to do. But let's go ahead and get into the fuck budget. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Fuck it up. Like, did we get 1,200 more fucks this week as a stimulus?
It was a well, that would have been good. Stimulus fuck budget. What we do here is we have 5 topics in movies, TV, toys, and pop culture where Jake and Abigail have to spend their fuck bucks. Each one of them get 10 fuck bucks to spend. They have to spend it wisely because you cannot go over your limit.
That's the fun.
And that's the fun.
That's where the fun is.
I also realized nobody knows it's called the fuck budget because when we had a thread group therapy last week about what do you like about YHS or something.
Tell me why you
everybody
like me.
kept saying fuck bucks.
Fuck bucks.
Or
yes.
Fuck bucks.
I was
We need a fuck budget T-shirt.
You know what we
need
should do? We
a
should
first bank of the fuck budget.
We should print out actual fuck bucks and send them to
Yes,
people.
that's what I've been saying since we started the fuck budget.
No, first time.
I want big ones. We should go to our listeners to the front door and knock on it with like a huge fuck buck.
I'm not going
It's
to
worth
their house.
nothing.
We should make them look like regular money and encourage people to try to actually buy things with them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
a really
legal.
good idea.
Yeah. Welcome to
that
Yes Have the
cloth
It's
Podcast.
mixer.
legal to do that.
Counterfeiting Money podcast.
little bit.
All right, cool. So here we go. Are you guys ready for your first topic? Go ahead and plug group
All right.
therapy.
Group therapy. If you guys want to join, all you have to do is log into Facebook and search for Yes Have Some Podcast Group Therapy. You will find our closed group. There are tons of people. We want to get it to 1,000. We're almost there. So all you have to do is ask to join. We will, either myself, Craig, or Jake, accept you immediately. From there, you can post as much content as you want, as long as it is quality and not memes and original. And let's keep it, centered around the podcast and the sort of things we talk about on the show. And then we'll all
I
comment.
love when you hold on.
And if it's not good, Ryan will delete it.
I love that halfway through it turns into a warning.
Hey, you better bring good content or you're getting booted.
All right, here we go. I'm fine. I didn't die.
We've never kicked anybody out.
Yeah,
Dude, once a week, maybe.
One guy.
One
guy.
Don't be that person.
one guy. Don't be him.
Join
All right,
up.
here we go. Number one on the fuck budget. The next Halloween movie is coming out. Halloween Kills is going to hit this fall. The writer of the movie, James Jude Courtney. It's not the writer. That's the actor that plays Michael Myers. I was looking for his name. The writer of the movie, Danny McBride.
Yeah, he's
one of my favorite people in the
writers on it.
world. They're saying that this one is bigger and badder and meaner than the last Halloween movie. When it comes to Halloween Kills in general, Jacob Walsh, how many fucks do you give?
0.
Whoa.
All right.
0
I mean, I knew
fucks.
that.
The last Halloween movie kind of sucked. It was nothing like the original, I didn't think. And I think these kind of movies, when you say bigger and meaner, that's not what they should be. We don't need a bigger, meaner. This last movie was like so much, overblown out of proportion compared to the original Halloween. I don't need it even bigger and it's already too big. And I just, I don't like that at all. 0 fucks. I don't give a shit. I tried to when I saw this was on the fuck budget, I was like, oh, I'm going to go back and rewatch the last Halloween, and I couldn't get like 10 minutes into it. I was just like, nope, don't give it. This movie sucks.
Damn.
I don't care.
Damn, that's cold, but I respect you and I respect your opinion. It's my
All right,
turn.
so 0.
0 fucks.
Zero's the answer.
0. Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
Well, I gave this 1 fuck, and that fuck is strictly going to Danny McBride as a co-writer on this script because I like him so much and I'm just into his shit. So I care about 1 fuck's worth. The last Halloween movie, Jake, I did not go back and rewatch. I thought about it. But when I saw it in the theater, I think I liked it. I liked like kind of the direction it was going in, but it really didn't stick with me. And it's kind of at this point like such a bloated franchise that, when they say bigger, badder, meaner, like, is it really going to be, or does that just sound worse? Like, does that make it any better if it's like that? So yeah, I do say Halloween's my second favorite horror franchise. It's behind Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's like I care. I got to give it 1 fuck, but not more than that.
Yeah. I don't bigger and meaner. Like the fact is Halloween, the original, is one of my all-time favorite movies. Definitely my all-time favorite horror movie. And kind of it's probably just run its course. Like, yeah, I'm going to go see it the first night. I want to know what this new trilogy is all about, but
Yeah.
we don't need a new Halloween trilogy. And I think one thing, we all watched the Halloween remake, the Rob Zombie one a couple years ago, which when I put this on the fuck budget, for some reason, Abby was like, wait, is this about the Rob Zombie one?
not gonna watch the
I was like,
It has that one.
I was like,
thing.
no.
Whoa!
I was like, why would they just randomly be making a sequel to that?
That's great.
I feel like history is going to look back at the Rob Zombie movies and be like, you know what? They're not incredible, but at least they did something a little bit different. Because at the end of the day, that last Halloween movie, even though I enjoyed it and I was entertained by it, it's kind of it's a rehash.
Yeah.
It's just a rehash. It's Michael Myers stalking. And I didn't. Okay.
You don't want to rehash with just a slight update.
I will say that Laurie Strode, her comeback was better than Sarah Connor's comeback in Dark Fate.
Yeah, but that's not saying that doesn't give it any kind of that's not saying anything. That doesn't give it any kind of respect.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with the I feel
anything is better than Linda Hamilton's comeback as Sarah Connor. So yeah, it's not saying much.
That discussion we had earlier about the tacos was literally better than Dark Fate. By miles. God. Anyways, okay, cool. Well, we won't spend a whole lot of time on that Halloween movie. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, one fuck.
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna go, like, probably opening night. I'll go see it. Like, I like the original, and I like some of the ones that are bad.
Here's my idea.
I just have a really bad taste in my mouth from the last one because their whole thing was like, hey, we're gonna erase all the canon. We want this to be a true sequel. We want to do something really special. And then it wasn't any. It still sucked.
Here's what they need to do. This is where Danny McBride screwed up. Reboot it again and make Walton Goggins the sheriff of Haddonfield. And just have the movie about him hunting down Michael Myers as his character from Vice Principals. Though.
I like that. And Danny McBride would have to be in it too and play like a driving instructor.
Yeah, imagine.
And he'd get Michael Myers in there one day.
Imagine what Walton Goggins would be like. I'm about to put a motherfucking bullet in Michael Myers' head. God, that would be so good. Don't fuck with me, Mike. All right. I'm just saying that would be better. Number 2.
I agree.
Yeah.
This isn't really news, but it's news to us. We've been having this ongoing discussion about the MCU in our group chat. We've all been taking on... You know what's funny? I realized
hot takes.
We've all been rewatching the MCU in some weird fucked up order. Like no rhyme or reason. Like, yeah, I watched Guardians 2 and then Civil War and then Ant-Man and then Endgame. Like, what? God, I just did the nerdiest laugh. Like, it's so funny to watch them out of order.
We did Endgame and then Infinity War and then Civil War and then what was the other?
Guardians.
Yeah, and then we did Infinity War. No, we did Endgame again.
So here it is.
Finish it.
We're going to focus on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And maybe as we do fuck budgets going forward, we can include one of these MCU hot take moments. Or maybe that should be a segment every week, the MCU hot take of the week, presented by Jacob Walsh. Actually, we're going to do that after the fuck budget. All right. Here we go. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We all recently watched it. It's been a couple years since release. When it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Abigail Gardner, how many fucks do you give?
4 fucks. Ooh. Yeah, that's the highest amount of fucks I'm giving today on this fuck budget. I think I like this movie. I know I like it more than I did on my first viewing of it in the theater when it first came out. I still don't think I like it more than the first volume because that's just got like a super special place in my heart. But my interest in Guardians of the Galaxy has gone up since James Gunn did his Twitter watch along for Volume 1 a couple weeks ago. That made me put on Volume 2 a couple nights after that just so I could get back into it. And it's just great. Like, it's funny and heartwarming, and I end up crying my eyes out by the end of it, which is kind of the goal for these movies. Rocket Raccoon like shines in every moment and never fails to make me laugh. I love Nebula more than I thought I did and more than I ever have. So yeah, it's a fantastic movie, and I can't wait. There's a watch along for this Thursday night at 9 p.m. You can follow James Gunn on Twitter, and I'm going to be doing that. Even though it means I'll be watching it again for like the second time in a week, I'm going to watch it again because it's a 4 fuck category movie.
I'm so excited for what's going to happen next. Jacob Walsh.
Should I leave or get a tissue?
No, because we're all going to fight. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. How many fucks?
I gave it 1 fuck.
All right.
I gave it 1 fuck, and I gave it 1 fuck because specifically because it's like I don't think it's a. I think I would give it more fucks, but I gave a couple other things on here. It was the least important thing to me. I think the movie's got some good stuff in it. It's got some really great stuff in it, but it also has like really weird, nonsensical writing in it. And I feel the whole Yondu thing is bullshit and doesn't make sense, especially if you watch them back to back. I watched them both last week, and it just doesn't make any kind of sense to try to take Yondu and in the like last third of a movie make him such a lovable, like that's just not what he is. He's literally 2 seconds away from killing everybody in the first movie multiple times. And then all of a sudden in the very last moments of part 2, he's like, I'm your real dad. That's all bullshit and all that. To me, there's no emotion there because it's not earned. I like Yondu as a character, and I think he's fun, and I think he would have been cool to stick around, and maybe like they could have played off of that stuff more in the movies and then got to that point. But it's like super out of nowhere. I think the whole thing about making the villain Peter's dad in part 2, it's just like I think it's all a waste, because they took something that could have been really cool and really fun to develop and like follow him trying to figure out who his dad is and all this stuff, and they just make him a generic. He's just a generic Marvel villain that just died. It's just all of that stuff is like, I don't know. It seems like it doesn't even seem to me like those are plot points that James Gunn came up with, because I feel like he would do better than that.
Whew, wow. Yeah.
Rebuttal. Dude,
I mean, I have to say that the Yondu stuff doesn't hit hollow for me. It's something that, and I see your point. It's not necessarily earned, but at all those points at which Yondu was able to, like, about to kill people, or like you were saying, it's like he didn't go for that. Like he never did. So I feel like his act was more, the bullshit was more him acting like a tough guy the entire time. I think he had a soft spot for Peter Quill, and I ate that stuff up and liked that stuff because I thought that having the troubled relationship with Ego was very, very interesting for Star-Lord to have to make that decision to be like, okay, so either I'm going to be like the ultimate like cis male, like taking on all that I've inherited and being a piece of shit to other human beings, or I'm going to throw it all away and lose my immortality and become a human again and make the decision to be a man. And I liked that stuff. And once Yondu, like, I think the payoff with his funeral scene it's so beautiful and so moving, and one of my favorite things to watch, that I wouldn't give it up. And I like seeing Yondu come down and do the Mary Poppins. Is he cool? And I still get choked up seeing that. I kind of think that it going with the sequel, Volume 2 being the way it was, not like it was a self-contained kind of like a bottle movie, like trapped within Ego, the planet, like they didn't have other characters from Marvel necessarily coming in. It was kind of a dead end almost, but I really enjoyed the ride, and I felt like it informed the characters a lot. So I have to say I loved it. But I do kind of understand where you're coming from with being frustrated.
Well, I think... No, go for it.
Go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say, in Guardians 1, there's a scene where Yondu has that. He has his arrow to Peter Quill's throat, and they're close up on his face, and he's going to make the whistle to kill him. And the only reason he doesn't do it is because they're like, "Oh, we can give you the orb."
Yeah.
How do you go from that to, "Oh, he's your dad, we love you"? No. Well, that's bullshit manipulation, and I'm not here for that.
I don't think that he's a great person through and through, and I don't think you're supposed to be like, oh, it was all good at the end of it. Like, he's still half shitty.
I think it's all. I just think I like Guardians Volume 2 a lot. It's a little bloated. I think the Ego storyline and the redemption / reveal of Yondu kind of being more of a father figure, I think that stuff works stretched over a couple movies, because they don't really hint at all of that stuff in the first movie, kind of like Jake's saying. So if you take the second movie to kind of get from point A to point B and kind of tease like, oh, maybe there's more to him, and then you get that payoff in the third movie.
Yeah, instead of it being so compact.
As far as no, I was just going to say, as far as the Ego stuff goes, I think Kurt Russell is great. And
he is great.
It's a little bit of a bummer that they take such a magnificent idea of this guy is a celestial being and has been around for like billions of years. And then there's a big fight and they kill him. Like it's one of those things. And I get it. It happens in these movies. It is the core issue of the superhero genre or the Marvel movie villain issue.
Yeah. I'll tell you what movie I'd like to see. That would be that type of exploring the relationship with children to father. And I would love to watch Gamora and Nebula and their training with Thanos. And I would watch a series or several movies about that.
But that's a really good example.
Well, that might happen at some point.
Yeah.
Like
That'd be sick.
that's a good idea. But I think the problem with not just Guardians 2, but like most of the Marvel sequel movies is the first movies end up being really good because they have really good ideas and they have figured out really good, interesting, fun ways to introduce characters and go through the origin stories. But then because they're Marvel movies and they're trying to connect everything to Avengers films, their sequel, they don't have these great ideas for any of the sequels, and all of the sequels, not all of them, but most of them end up suffering from the same thing where they just feel like it's just like shit we're trying to get through to get us to the Avengers. And, you know, like the Iron Man sequels are like that. Thor 2 is like that. You know, like Captain America to an extent is like that. Both of the Ant-Man movies are like that. And I think Guardians 2 suffers because of that same thing. It's not all specifically like James Gunn's fault. It's just part of
it.
The formula and the sausage making
but
and the machine.
The formula, exactly.
Yeah.
I think you bring up a really good point, Abby, is that where you see the relationship with Gamora and Nebula and Thanos and the way that is stretched, like that payoff from first being introduced to them in Guardians, seeing what they go through in the second one, seeing them go through Infinity War into Endgame, that feels like more of a natural and realistic payoff.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm excited to see what he does with Volume 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes they just put a lot in one movie, and that's always kind of my thing. Like we've talked about that with like Dark Knight Rises, where I really thought maybe splitting that into two stories or stretching it out, there's more buy-in. But anyways, so okay, cool. Good stuff. And let's keep watching some Marvel movies.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it.
Let's do it. Next up, coming up soon, is a Blu-ray release for the 45th anniversary of Jaws. Obviously, Jaws has been released and re-released a lot, and we all own copies of it. But that's not going to stop us from buying it again, I don't think. When it comes to the 45th anniversary 4K Blu-ray, Jacob Walsh, how many fucks do you give?
I gave it, you know, I kind of wanted to give this less than the amount. I gave it 3 fucks and I almost gave it 2. And then at one point I was like, well, maybe I want to give it 4. It's just like, it's nothing different. It's nothing I haven't seen. It doesn't have any kind of extras I haven't seen. It's just another copy to buy. And because of that, it's like, there's not a whole lot of excitement there, but then also it's like, you know, as long as I'm getting to buy new Jaws things, there is excitement there. So that makes me happy. But like, you know, all in all, it will just be something I go to the store, buy and put on a shelf, and it's no different.
I'm wondering what a Jaws anniversary Blu-ray could have that you don't have, honestly.
I mean, yeah, at this point, they've put it all out.
Unless it came with its own barrel or its own
it's just all been put out.
Yeah,
everything exists, and all the footage and all the pictures. It's all out there in some form or another, and there's not any new content being made for it. So there's not a whole lot they can do. It's just putting it out in a higher quality format.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Well, we've been there with Ghostbusters too. It's like we just buy it because you got to buy it.
Yeah, you buy it and you're excited about it, but whatever.
I gave this the same as you, Jake, 3 fucks. And what I wrote down was we need this as a people. So I think I'm more excited about it than you are. I don't know that I've seen some of these bonus features, like the making of.
We definitely own them, though.
Okay, yeah.
They're on it, yeah. Whatever the last one that came out had, the Blu-ray that came out had all the.
They keep putting out that same damn copy with the bad Universal, like the same as the Jurassic Park. The menus are like on the side. They're kind of weird to access.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't give this 3 fucks.
No,
then.
delete those fucks.
I said Jaws is in my top 5, and I'm always excited to, especially this time of year, like June, July. Well, close to June. I get excited to watch it, and it'll be cool to have all these features that Jake's already seen, and apparently we've owned forever. But it's got a 44-page booklet in it, which is cool.
Yeah, the
Full
booklet
information
will.
you've already
It's a
seen.
new booklet, but
Yeah.
it'll probably have the same shit in it. But
Listen,
whatever.
here's the thing. I
It's
want
fine.
to
It's
admit
fine.
something.
It's fine.
I want to admit something right
Yeah.
now. I've got 4K TV. I put in these 4K blue. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if it looks better or not. I never know. Do you have to get like a special DVD player to
Dude,
play
sometimes
that
I
thing?
put in the regular
I think
DVD.
do you have to have like really good Wi-Fi connection or whatever to make all that?
to be
Because
able, to be able to stream it.
I've noticed that my TV, both of them, the TV I already had and the TV I got from you guys, they both look like shit, and I think it's because the Wi-Fi connection or something. Nothing ever looks good. Everything's always pixelated, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Dude, hey, you should just go outside and throw the TV and your modem into the yard and be like, I'm done.
Dude, yes.
Done with all of it.
Done.
Fireproof.
Yeah, with 4K, you do have to have have certain download speeds to be able to stream it properly. I don't.
We don't
know.
have that. We don't have that here.
We don't have
Cool.
downloads here. Cool. I'm excited. I'll pick it up. It's always fun to go buy a new Jaws thing at the store.
Yeah.
And I don't know what copy we have or don't have. I don't even remember if they put out a 40th anniversary. I guess they probably did. But
I think that might have been the Blu-ray.
yeah, the one I have is the 20th on DVD with with Jake doesn't have the shitty cover.
Yeah, the DVD. It's got the torpedo shark on it. It looks really weird.
Yeah, that shark. Like I kind of knew what you were talking about when you were talking about the torpedo shark recently, but then if you compare that to like the original, it's gross. It's bad looking.
Yeah, it's super weird, Photoshoppy. Like, just looks weird.
It always amazes me that stuff like gets past approval. Like, who looks at that and goes, "Damn, son, you finally made the Jaws poster better." You finally improved Mozart. All right, cool. Number 4 on the fuck budget. This one I'm excited about. Bill and Ted Face the Music is the 3rd movie in the Bill and Ted franchise, which is one of our favorites. And as of yesterday, and as of the tweets from the official account, it's still being released in August. It is still planned on being out this summer. They are putting the finishing touches on the trailer. Obviously, it's been harder for the VFX crews to do that stuff working from home. But as of whatever today is, April 22nd, 2020, Bill and Ted 3 is still coming this summer. And with all this other stuff getting canceled, I'm pretty damn excited about it. Who went first last time? You did?
Jake.
You did?
It's my turn.
All right, Abigail Gardner.
I gave this 0 skeptical fucks.
Oh, God.
Because
Oh wow.
yeah, well, I love Bill and Ted. Yeah, super excited about it. But at this point, this movie's like Dragon Con. Like, oh yeah, we're still going. We're still gonna happen. I don't feel.
You're right.
I don't feel strongly that it's going to have a theatrical release like it deserves. It's a bummer. So yeah, I also made a note that for Dragon Con, we should all be the musicians aboard the Titanic this year if it happens, because
There
I
you
feel
go.
like that's funny. But back to Bill and Ted. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen, so I can't give it more than 0 fucks. Yeah, I want it to happen and be awesome, but
Okay.
I don't trust it.
Thought I was talking to
Everything's getting canceled.
Didn't know I was talking to Jake already.
Sorry.
This is like the worst version of Freaky Friday.
Now I like Dinotopia.
Abby's excited about the Jaws DVD.
Jake, you doing some Legos?
Jake, when it comes to Bill and Ted coming out, probably, maybe.
I also gave it 3 fucks, just like the last one. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about. I gave it 3 like confused fucks because it is weird that they're saying it's still going to come out in August when we don't know if that's going to be possible. But I don't think that the movie's just going to not come out at all. Like we'll see it. Maybe it will get pushed back. I'm excited that we're probably going to be seeing a trailer sometime soon. I'm just excited for Bill and Ted. Like, I don't know what the circumstances are going to be. And it's hard to even, at this point, it's hard to even speculate about any of that stuff. Like, you know, we were talking about Dragon Con earlier. Like, it's hard to speculate because nobody knows. And I don't, you know, we don't even know if movie theaters are going to be like a big thing that at that point. I don't know, but I am still excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's kind of too early to really know one way or the other. Like by July, I think we'll know. Like if movie theaters are open, if Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan movie, that keeps its release, I don't know. Maybe Bill and Ted will be the first big release. Maybe it'll be the highest grossing movie of the year. And by default, it'll just win Best Picture because it'll be the only movie that comes out.
That would be amazing.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter. Like, they both get nominated for Best Actor. They're the only 2 nominations.
Like whatever their Wild Stallion song is wins.
Oh, yeah. And Station is presenting. And Death is
Grammys.
hosting. It's an all Bill and Ted Oscars. I love that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Dude, yeah.
Just imagine that. Hi, I'm Ted Theodore Logan, and I'm Bill S. Preston Esquire. And this
is the Oscars.
Is the 100th Annual Academy Awards. That would be good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I would watch it.
That would be better than the normal Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So Bill and Ted may be coming out. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll let everybody know. All right, last up on the fuck budget tonight, the real Ghostbusters figures from Hasbro, the Kenner Classics, the ones we all pre-ordered, are now hitting Walmarts. And people seem to be losing their minds one way or the other. I really can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, it's controversial.
It's leading to all sorts of conversations. Abigail Gardner, when it comes to the real Ghostbusters figures, how many fucks do you give?
2 fucks. All the fucks I have left are going to these figures. And I thought about taking my fucks back because I got mad because you came home from Walmart today with them. And I was like, wait.
I did.
I wasn't there when you got them, so I'm very mad.
I've got proof.
I'm taking fucks back.
Here's Egon.
Yeah, dude, you got them. So yeah, this has turned into a controversial subject in group therapy. But I honestly am gonna stand behind what I believe, which is seeing these figures and seeing pictures of them showing up in Walmart has brought me hope and given me happiness, and giving my 2 fucks for all the hope that these brought me, because I miss seeing new toys in stores, and I miss having a Chase figure, and seeing stuff in group therapy that we're all talking about and going after is fun. So I'm not supporting going out and touching people or coughing or doing anything senseless like that. But if you're out at Walmart and you're already buying toilet paper or paper towel and looking for necessities like that, go ahead and look for the toys too, because it'll make your day better. And just to address all that stuff in group therapy, Craig was just asking for people to post where they were so we could know for a fact what states had these figures out yet. So I'm giving it 2 fucks. I love them. I want more of them. I don't think it's something to get upset about. I think it's something to be excited about.
I just want to let everybody know. While Abby was talking, I was opening toys.
How did it feel?
It felt great.
Good.
Jake, how many fucks?
I gave it all the fucks I had left, which was 3. And it's also 3 confused fucks, because part of me like, I don't care too much. I'm trying to not go out. I know I have them pre-ordered, and part of me is like calm and like, well, I'm getting them no matter what. But then the other part of me is like, oh, but I kind of want 2 sets of them. And if they're in the store, I want to go find them. I want to look for them. I want to hold them in my hand. I want to be able to open a set and then maybe keep a set closed. So I'm also like kind of surprised they're out already. I thought they were getting pushed back, or I don't know. It's 3
a lot of emotions.
Yeah, it's 3 confused fucks, but I am excited about it.
Yeah, so it's been really cool seeing everybody post that they're getting them. So they're hitting earlier than we were expecting, right? So the ship date was June 1st from Walmart.com, and it's not terribly uncommon, as I was telling somebody today, for toys to hit earlier than what the release date is. So my guess is anybody who pre-ordered will be getting them in the next week or 2. They'll probably start shipping, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah, that'll be a nice treat.
It was really cool to see real Ghostbusters figures on the shelf. It was a little bittersweet though, and this is kind of the conversation I want to get into. It's a little bittersweet though, because they were just there. There was no Ghostbusters display. There's no advertisement for the new movie. And this was supposed to be that time when we were building up to release of Ghostbusters.
That's
Afterlife.
part of it.
So there's 100%.
It's like kind of killing our build up that we were supposed to get. And because they decided to not push these back, are we not going to get that build up? It's just like, oh yeah, I guess Ghostbusters is coming out now.
Right. It's a little bit of a buzzkill. Now, we have heard that all of the Afterlife specific figures are being pushed. So we'll still get the traditional releases leading up to the new movie next March, but it's just kind of mixed emotions. Like I said, I think it felt really cool to see them on the shelves. It was great to buy them. Some people have asked, well, you pre-ordered them, why you buy them? Like, I'm at a Walmart in 2020 in the middle of a damn pandemic trying to get paper towel. If I see a real Ghostbusters figure, I'm not going to pass it up and be like, someone else.
But did you? But like,
I meant to get paper towel. I meant to get paper towel. I did. Hey,
you got so excited you just forgot.
I got an orange Fanta.
Dude.
Wait, no, I didn't. I don't think I did. I got something. I got an orange Sunkiss. I got a Sunkiss.
You got
That's what I got.
Sunkiss.
Got a Sunkiss.
You fool.
I'm a fool.
Yeah.
So I did just open this figure, and I'm not an. I love toys and everything. I'm not an expert enough to be able to compare it to the originals. But what I'm gonna do is some sort of a video doing a comparison to the new and the old. I mean, it definitely feels a little bit different. I think the pack looks cleaner.
Well, it's because it's 35 years newer.
Oh, that's part of it. This, hey, I'll tell you what. His leg's a little loosey there. Come on, Hasbro. What are you doing?
Well, they're trying to be accurate.
Yeah, don't expect. No. This is great. This is a really cool figure. Yeah, I think it just kind of goes to say, like, I was telling Jake earlier that it was kind of sad because they had Black Widow toys out, they had Top Gun toys out, and Ghostbusters, all these movies that aren't actually, they're all getting pushed back. I want to have let's round out today's episode with a little bit of a collecting discussion because there's a lot of opinions being thrown around. All right.
A discussion about collecting or a collective discussion about Ghostbusters?
Both of those.
Okay.
But this is specifically about these real Ghostbusters figures. Now, one thing that somebody pointed out is that these new proton packs on these figures do not fit the original Kenner releases. So if your plan, hold on. If your plan was to buy because the original packs they're expensive and they're hard to find, not broken and things like that. Although I'll tell you right now, Egon's electric orange proton stream has been re-released as a dull, like tangerine color. But Jake, you said good.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's good?
Well, because fuck them. No, I think no. I think it's mainly like if I'm gonna collect vintage figures, I don't want to be mixing them with, these new pieces that are just coming out. Like if I'm gonna have a vintage Ghostbuster and I'm gonna be that, I want it to be accurate and I want the old stuff. Then I want them to have an old pack. Right. I personally feel weird being like, I'm going to buy the new re-releases and then take this pack off because I'll know. You'll know. I'll always know that that's not the original pack. And if I can't find an original pack or I don't want to pay for an original pack, then he doesn't have a pack. I'm glad they don't mix because that's a vintage toy and this is a re-release.
When I told Jake about this earlier,
it goes against natural law to mix them.
Exactly.
What?
Jake goes, nature.
Would resellers by any chance try to switch one of these in and sell it as an original?
I'm sure that's going to happen, but really, you'll know.
They could, but you could tell.
You can tell. Similar to the Star Wars retro
if
releases.
You can't tell, that's your fault. So.
Well, I agree with that too. Earlier this week when I told Jake about the packs, his gut reaction, he goes, that shouldn't be allowed. I like the idea of going door to door and checking people's first taking their temperature and then making sure they're not mixing their vintage real Ghostbusters figures. And
hey, hot take. You're not a real toy collector if you're buying new pieces from Walmart to finish off your vintage toy collection.
Whoa, shots are fired.
Now, what do you guys think about this? Everybody's been buying these toys and posting, and people are very excited, and I get it. I understand why it's exciting.
They're fun.
What do you think about this other, I don't even remember what Instagram account, but this guy posts, if you want, it's something, he posted a picture of his original Kenner Ray stance and was like, if you want to look at a real collectible, check this out. Abby, what do you think of that guy?
Yeah, no. I can't.
Microphone?
Sorry. I was looking for something on my phone. I apologize. I'm here.
What were you looking for?
I was looking to, because when you wrote down in our lineup what we were going to talk about, you said, how are we feeling about Ghostbusters Afterlife? So I didn't.
I haven't got there yet.
Okay. Well, I didn't have any specific notes about collecting, so I was having a little panic attack trying to figure it out at all. So will you just reiterate?
You didn't write down your opinions earlier?
Yeah.
I'm asking you, what do you feel about somebody who says, here's my original collectible, fuck everybody else?
I mean, I guess I support it. I'm so sorry. Is there a response I'm supposed to be giving you right now?
I don't care. I'm asking your opinion.
Like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, I don't want a collector who's got an attitude. I think it's all for you yourself. So I don't really buy what you want. Buy the new stuff at Walmart. I'm not non-judgmental about what you collect.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Jacob Walsh, what do you feel about somebody who does that?
I think he's such a cool guy. I don't think people are buying the new figures because they're like, ooh, this is going to be a collect. Like we all know that these aren't vintage. We all know these are re-releases. Right. Nobody is buying these. Like people are buying them because they're excited about them and they like Ghostbusters and it's a re-release of the old vintage thing. And for someone to be like, here's a real collectible, go away.
Oh,
shoot.
Calm the fuck down. Sit down. Yeah, I just got the context.
Up. Okay, so now you know what's going on.
Jake just filled in one of the blanks that I needed. If you're lording it over people who are buying other things that are like newer releases from that line, that's lame. Nobody cares. Sit down. Yeah.
I love that.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yes. So we know what kind of kid you were growing up and nobody cares. It's like your dad's a firefighter and he's the president. Like none of that's true.
He's a firefighter and the president.
We smell your shit is all I'm saying.
Is he the president from Independence Day?
Yes, he's the
No, hey, he's the president of the firefighters. That's it.
President of firefighters. Yeah, you weren't listening. So
yeah, I think
the volunteer firefighters.
It's really amazing when there's a new. This happens in toy collecting all the time. Anytime there's like a new big release and everybody's clamoring for it. Everybody starts having all these like hot takes and opinions about like the right and wrong way. Like this is all supposed to be fun. Like if you can't afford
I think that to distill that down, it's in one word, it's jealousy. I think
there is that.
Yeah, you got some they have it, I don't, so I'm gonna hate on it.
But listen, the original release real Ghostbusters figures are very expensive. And listen, for $15, you can get something comparable that's very cool looking and displays well. And who cares? Like the thing about collecting,
we only care if you're mixing it with your vintage stuff. And
that's the only rule.
That's the only thing we care about. That's the only rule.
Do not invite us over and be like, look at these vintage real Ghostbusters figures. We will leave so fast.
I just imagine Jake with a blowtorch.
I think about an electric blower.
That would be less damaging. Just blow them off the shelf.
But I think like collecting is weird, and here's the thing about collecting. Everybody's got their own personal like rules, right? There's no one right way to do it, but everybody has like their thing. Like we were talking about, like Jake, when it comes to opening figures, if one of Jake's famous rules is if it doesn't destroy the packaging, like on a NECA figure, you'll take out the figure and display. But if it's something you really have to tear open, you prefer to keep it in package. That's Jake's rule. Yeah. And part of collecting is you set these personal rules. Like the thing with me is my rules change every day and they don't make any sense, but I do have them.
I think it's okay for them to change.
They can change. What's that say? Abby just wrote me a note. So whatever your personal rules are, they're fine, but don't apply them to everybody else. Here's another thing with collecting and scalping. It happens. There is no way to stop people from going to stores, buying more than they need, and trying to flip it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sucks, and yeah, it's unfair.
People do it with hand sanitizer and toilet paper and paper towel.
Yeah, but if you don't want scalping to happen, the only way to make that not a thing is by not giving into them and buying things at inflated prices. Like some people don't care and they want to buy it, but you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, oh, I want this early, I'm going to buy it and pay more for it, but then complain about a scalper, because that's what that is.
Jake, you're a toy collector. Have you ever paid scalper prices for something? No. And have you ever not gotten everything that you needed to get?
Not only if it was like on my own, either forgetting about something or
right.
just not wanting. If it was something that I wanted to get, I got it.
Right. Like for the most part, obviously there's going to be cases that are different, like extreme cases. Like if you're in another country or if you are in the absolute middle of nowhere and there's nowhere else to, like, whatever. But like for the most part, this stuff's available at Walmart. You'll be able to find it. You have the ability to go out and get it if you want. Yeah, if people are buying up 2 cases of real Ghostbusters figures and selling it for $200, that sucks. But if you buy it, you're kind of contributing to, like, resellers do it because they know they're going to be able to do it. Same thing happened with NECA Ninja Turtles figures. Same thing happens all the time. So this is kind of anecdotal, but I tend to think the people complaining about it a lot of the time are the people who, like, maybe aren't going to get them anyway.
Have sticks up their butts.
I don't know. It's like you don't have $200 to spend, but you also don't have 60 or 10. Like maybe you're just not going to get them anyway. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick, but like I like the hunt. I like the hunt.
Yeah.
I like going out there and I like finding.
Yeah.
Part
We
of the,
feel bad for you if you can't get them, but don't take it out on other people by being a jerk.
that you just
Yeah.
described.
What the community does.
Toy collectors, Ghostbusters fans, fans of anything.
Yeah, we're not making any PSAs.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Video gamers. No one's ever been like, you know what I like about toy collectors? They're reasonable.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said that. Anyways,
Never.
now this kind of goes to the bigger discussion I was having. The thing I wrote down before. I didn't mean
I think
to.
that I got so upset.
I didn't mean to
that-
stress you out about that.
Yeah, no, I took it in a different direction.
It's fine. I wanted to talk about that bitterness, that bittersweet thing I was talking about earlier with Ghostbusters Afterlife, because like the toys are hitting, the art book hit, the novelization is hitting. Like a lot of the stuff that was planned on being released as part of this buildup is still happening, but we don't have that payoff or light at the end of the tunnel in July like we thought. Does that? I guess my worry is does that possibly ultimately contribute to a little bit of like when it finally comes out, it'll be great and we'll love it, but maybe strips away a little bit of that? Because to me, the build-up's the best part. It's the most fun. And I don't know, I'm just feeling weird about it. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion.
Yeah. I said, because I thought about this while I was sitting on the back porch and thinking deeply about Afterlife. And I compared it to, I said, I feel like I just fell in love and started dating someone who's now going out of the country for 12 months. And it's basically like I started a relationship and now I have to wait a very long period of time. I'm still very excited. I'm a little bit devastated. I'm grateful for what we have and that like it's in the can and that it's still going to come out. I'm thankful for every little bit of social media interaction. Jason Reitman playing word games on Instagram, or McKenna Grace playing guitar, or Finn Wolfhard just being like a cool teenage aloof asshole on Instagram. I like interacting and being able to see little pieces of them when I can, because I have to wait so long. It's kind of like having that long distance relationship of like, okay, I love this person. It's going to pay off eventually. But right now I can't see them and it hurts and it sucks. And I don't want to lie. It's kind of breaking my heart a little bit, but I think that by the time it does come out, it will be worth waiting because we'll be able to have a proper theatrical release with all the hoopla and the red carpet and promotional stuff and all
the stuff we should be getting
and
now.
all that shit, which is what I want.
You know what I thought about Logan Kim? He's like a young guy. He's probably like 10 years old or something.
Yeah.
He's going to be a foot taller when this movie comes out.
Yeah.
Than he is in the movie.
Unrecognizable.
Yeah.
It'll be almost 2 years from when it was
Him and
filmed.
McKenna Grace will be married by then. Be so old.
McKenna Grace, the recently divorced McKenna Grace. Yeah, I don't know why I thought about that. It just kids really grow fast. Sometimes they grow like 10 inches in one summer. That's what I heard, at least. Jake, what are your overall thoughts about this stuff?
Well, a lot of the stuff similar to what Abby just said. I'm bummed about it, but also I am a Ghostbusters fan, and I've been a Ghostbusters fan for my whole life, so I'm kind of used to like things not going smoothly. And it kind of like it's one of those things where it's like, well, it was too good to be true. Something had to happen to put a little bit of a damper on the excitement, and luckily that thing is just a pushback and not like a cancellation or
So
hey, this is the equivalent. Listen, hold on. this movie getting pushed back a couple months is the equivalent of us having to wait on Ivan Reitman for the photo op for another hour or two. You know, it's still fun and amazing, and it's going to be a good day, but we're just having to fucking wait longer than we should.
That's so funny. Is there a chance? This is basically, you know, it used to be like, well, did you hear what Bill Murray did? Yeah, he tore up the script for Ghostbusters 3. This is Bill Murray not tearing it up, but just a little tear. He's like, just kind of messing with us. Like, oh, am I going to do it? Is it going to? God, this all ends with it just being like the new Ghostbusters. Remember that time, like the U2 album went to everybody's phone?
Fuck that.
It's going to be like, oh, cool. Afterlife's out. It's on my Nexus phone or whatever.
It's on CBS All Access.
With commercials.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want that. So it's the wait sucks, but it's going to be worth it because it's going to come out the way I want it to come out. So
I mean, the thing we've talked about this a lot, but everything's getting delayed. Like this is not just like to us. Yeah. It's just
it would be more disconcerting if they were pulling a Dragon Con / Bill and Ted and we're like, yo, no, we're coming out in August. It's cool.
Right.
It would be a bummer to me, like you said, Abby, if it just got put like straight to streaming. But I'm okay with it getting pushed back because, like you just said, Craig, everything is canceled. Everything is pushed back. So it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
If everybody else has to suffer too, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
I do love
that makes my suffering less. The fact that everybody else is having to suffer makes my suffering the scales dip, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay with this because everybody else is in pain.
Suffering.
I like Jake's scale of suffering.
Soft taco decreases the suffering.
Hey, by the way, listen to this. We're all gonna, like, people are gonna 2020 will be a very historical year. Like the Abby was saying today, that's good. People are gonna like study the pandemic, but people are gonna ask us about 2020. And we're like, do you remember 2020? Like, yeah, Ghostbusters got delayed.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
I told my therapist that the other day. It was a very sad moment. Yeah, it sucks.
Did anything else happen?
No, I can't get over it.
I ate more pizza than normal from April to June.
Animal Crossing
it'd be
pizza.
It'd be the first year I've missed Dragon Con in probably, I don't know, like 16 or 17 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Since I started going.
Oh, I guess we didn't even talk about the fact that San Diego Comic-Con was officially canceled last week. But the good news is that NECA, this is really all I care about. NECA is going to do their reveals online, and they are going to do their exclusives.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to San Diego Comic-Con for the first time.
San Diego.
I didn't know this about NECA.
Yeah, so they're going to still do their reveals in some capacity. So we're going to still see stuff that's upcoming for the year, and they are going to, whatever their exclusives were going to be, they're going to be available online. They'll do like an online sale of some.
Gotcha.
Anyways, you know what? I have to I'm so happy this just happened.
Yeah, I just pointed it out to you, so do it.
We just got an Instagram comment, and I'm going to call this person out so hard. This goes right to what we were just talking about. I posted a picture of the new Real Ghostbusters figures on the Yes Have Some Instagram, which is at YHS podcast.
What?
Jake already responded to this.
I did, yeah.
Which I love, but I'm going to go one better. Somebody on Instagram, you can see it on I'm not going to call out their name, but you could see it. This was their comment to the Kenner Real Ghostbusters re-release. Not a fan. Makes the originals worthless now. Jake responded, no, it doesn't, because the original are vintage. These aren't. Now, Jake, that's not even a snarky response. That's just the truth.
Fact.
It's just the truth, yeah.
Cold, hard, straight up chills fact.
You guys ever watch Bill Maher? He does that segment called
New Rules.
Yeah.
No, I do watch it. I just felt like guessing. Sorry.
That's not what I was going to say. Can you talk into the microphone?
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
Just reading Jake's rebuttal.
He does a segment where it's like, I don't know. What is it? It's basically like, nobody told me, but I know it's true just because, kind of like, here's the thing about this person. I don't know that he doesn't even have the originals and can't afford to buy these new ones, but I know it for a fact.
You don't know, but you know.
Like, I don't know that this guy with 0 posts and 96 followers.
That's pretty good for 0 posts, actually.
Actually, he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, maybe we should be good.
It's just
Let's hire him.
This is just a troll. Like, that's such a worthless. The only thing worthless is that comment.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic behind it. That's like last year. For one thing, they're not the same. They're remakes. It's the same people who said that Answer the Call somehow made the first Ghostbusters less. Like there were like, forget what you think.
That movie did a lot of bad things, but it didn't make the old ones worse.
There were people like, I can't even enjoy the originals anymore. That's a you problem. That's not a Paul Feig problem.
Yeah.
It kind of, a little bit it is.
Yeah, I think that's called projection.
It's just funny, but like we've been talking about, the majority of people. I didn't mean to interrupt for that whole thing, but it was.
I liked it.
I think it was worth it. Let's just start calling out our Instagram posters. This guy said, "Oh, how about this guy?" He said, "These are great. Can't wait to get mine."
What an asshole!
Listen, I don't know.
Give out his name. Fuck that guy.
Cool. So yeah, I think we're all on the same page. It sucks. We got to talk about it, but it's cathartic to be able to do this. And
it sucks, but it's a better option, I suppose, like comparatively to the way other movies are either getting pushed or released. I'm just covering everything we just said.
Hey,
it's a lesser evil than I think it could be.
Friend of the podcast and one-time co-host Hal Clay will be excited to know that Scoob is going straight to streaming.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude.
Hey,
good.
Last fun fact, and we'll wrap it up. Did you know the original Scooby-Doo movie, when it was submitted for rating, came back rated R?
What? The one by what?
Wow.
Yeah.
In what year?
I didn't know that.
James Gunn?
Yeah, he wrote it. Because somebody asked James Gunn on Twitter if they're ever going to release the rated R version. He's like, there isn't one. It just, we cut like one or two things out and it went from R to PG. It maybe had an F-bomb or something in it. I don't know. I don't know how you.
I need to know.
In Scooby-Doo.
Let's fucking get
Was
out
there
of
like
here,
full
Scoob.
frontal? Like Scooby needs to put
If
some
there was
pants
an
on.
F-bomb, it would have to be said by Scoob.
Yeah.
Like Scooby would have to say fuck.
Scooby-Doo, we fucking do. Oh wait, yeah, full frontal Daphne.
Yeah. Okay. Scratchy? Is that one of them?
Scratchy.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said
Who's
that.
your favorite Scooby-Doo character?
Scratchy.
Fred. Scratchy.
Is that it?
No. Who are you?
Wait, what's his Scrappy?
Scrappy.
Scrappy Doo. He's got a
Scratchy
son.
Doo.
Scratchy Doo? You know Scratchy Doo.
All right. That was good.
Oh,
He's
God.
really itchy.
Yeah.
Scratchy Doo has fleas.
What's wrong, Scratchy? Oh man, he's scratching again, Scoob.
Oh, God.
Come on, gang. He's scratching all his fur. It's disgusting.
Okay, stop. Oh, God.
You good?
Yeah, no, I'm going to keep laughing.
Then that's where legends are
Scoob.
born. So Scoob's available for streaming. Featuring
Scoob.
Scratchy Doo. So listen,
That's when you don't wash your hair, you got a Scratchy Doo. Ba-doom.
Pay attention to the Yes Have Some YouTube channel. We're going to put up some new stuff this week. I'm going to do some video.
I'm going to take down that joke I just made.
Yeah, thank God. I'm going to do some video reviews of these new Real Ghostbusters figures. I'm going to do some comparisons to the old ones and see what's different about them.
I think you should put them in a wrestling ring and then like have them like contenders that you like list off their facts.
Okay.
That's just an
Oh, that's
idea
a
I
good
had.
idea.
Cool.
I like
in
that.
this corner,
In this
Egon
corner, we have.
Spengler.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Egon Spengler. But they're going to be the same, basically.
Coming in, no, you're gonna have to point out the differences though, because that's the whole point of the video.
It's like the
subtly.
most subtle differences.
And then they fight each other.
It's very like 40-year-old version. And now I paint the blue pants black.
No, it's very celebrity death match.
All right. Ooh, they should bring that back with Scrappy Doo. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining us. Yeah, Scratchy Doo. Sorry.
God, get it right.
You can follow us on Instagram at YHS
Am I a
Podcast.
mom sometimes?
Yes.
Scratchy?
God, I went slightly off of the fucking rundown. You had a meltdown earlier.
That's OCD. That's not mom.
Abby's looking at me going, I didn't. You said we were going to talk about
I start short
Ghostbusters.
circuiting.
I love it. Wouldn't
It's
change
good. It's good.
it. Jake, anything else to plug or talk about before we leave?
Nope. Guess I'm going to work this week.
No.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's like Donald Trump says no, but Brian Kemp's like yes. And I think you should just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think you should go buy a toy
Yeah.
and then complain about it.
You guys can tune in to us wherever you get podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, any of these podcast apps. Really, what I want to ask you, we've been getting some new 5-star reviews on iTunes. Really helps us out a lot. We don't really plug it enough, but if you could take a few minutes out of your day, leave us a review. Leave us 5 stars. Tell us what you love about Yes Have Some Podcasts. That will help get us in front of more people. And also don't forget the Patreon is free for the rest of the month of April. We'll probably have another bonus episode dropping next week. And
Yay.
we'll have that up on the regular feed, so you don't really have to do anything special. But if you do want to go to patreon.com/yeshavesome, you do have access right now to all of the posts. All of our current patrons will not pay anything for April and May. So if you do sign up during this time, you'll get 2 months free.
Nice.
It's like a
and next
sale.
week, we're doing a Scratchy Doo episode for the bonus.
We are. It's going to be good.
The history.
Everybody submit your Scratchy Doo fan art to
Why is it so funny?
yeshavesomecast@gmail.com and we'll pick a winner.
I think
We'll
of
send you free flea medication.
I think of Scooby-Doo, but with like all the little like the nasty like the bugs and stuff.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Okay. Like Linus has.
There you go.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, Charlie Brown has Snoopy and Linus has Scratchy Doo. I love that because he's poor.
They're stinky.
By the way, if you can't afford the real Ghostbusters figures, that's also okay.
It's okay.
You don't have to be able to buy
yeah.
things to be a good person.
Yeah. We've been there. It's all right. I'm there for you.
I'll send you $15. If you're at Walmart and you can't afford it, I'll send you $15.
Become friends with us on Facebook. Make a sad post.
It'll be just like the
PayPal you or Venmo.
Real quick, and then we'll finish this. So they're doing this mortgage relief program where you can get a delay on paying your mortgage. And I looked into it and I was like, this is great. You know what it is? You can delay it up to 4 months, and after the 4 months, you have to pay it all in full at once.
No.
What?
Yeah, I was like, look at this is worse.
That's ridiculous.
I was like, I can't afford my mortgage.
They're like the mob. It's like, no,
awful.
you're
That's
fine.
so
No,
annoying.
we need it all now.
Yeah,
or
it's
you're
really bad.
Gonna die.
Listen, everybody, you can also tune into the YHS eBay hang for more info on that. Go to the Yes Have Some podcast Facebook official group therapy. We already talked about that earlier.
It's easy. Join.
For Abigail Gardner and Jacob Walsh, my name's Craig Goldberg saying,
Try not to spill any Dr. Pepper during the eBay hang this Friday.
don't do that. And no, do not.
Actually, yeah, get enough Dr. Pepper so you can spill one and keep one and then display one.
Oh, it's like collecting. And if you have any rules that you like to abide by for collecting, let us know because we can talk about that on the show. We need content.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.